up against the guardrail as Ronnie Sanders' car being toted off. So once they get the track swept off, and in addition to that, they are putting some Speedy Dry down on the inside of the racetrack. So not only are we going to have Speedy Dry dust blowing up there, we're going to have the styrofoam leftovers up there blowing around. 97 laps in the books, Mark, 3 to go, and those drivers are really going to have to battle visibility problems in turn 1 with 3 to go.
Right, and they're going to have to tiptoe through that corner to try to keep from having anything happen to them. It's going to be different from a lot of these drivers. They're not used to seeing stuff like this styrofoam flying in their face when they're coming into a turn.
Well, that's exactly right, and I'm not sure if these drivers could put them on these race cars, but if they could, they might want to install windshield wipers to wash everything off the windshield when they go by.
Hopefully not snow tires.
Right. And we understand that the 37 car of Larry Raines broke a transmission on the restart. So a tough break for Larry Raines in car number 37, was running in the 4th spot. And Mark, that may have got everybody bunched up behind Larry Raines that might have triggered that incident in turn number 1 towards the back of the pack.
It could very well have happened. I was looking down the front straightaway when they got the start, and it was like as if he missed a gear, missed a shift, which is what happens when you break the transmission, of course. But Bobby Gill fired and was underneath of him, almost pushing him down the straightaway. And the 82 car of John Blewett and Darrell Shellnut and Jody Ridley, they were all almost into that incident, and it took some talented drivers to get through it. And Larry Raines was not spun out, which he probably could have been very easily if these guys had not been on the ball.
So here's the situation. We are under caution with 97 laps in the books. The laps under caution do not count on the last 10 laps of Hooters Cup racing. Dick Anderson in car number 92 is your leader, looking for his 2nd straight victory on the Hooters Cup Tour after picking up his first of the season 2 weeks ago at Anderson Motor Speedway in Anderson, South Carolina, running in the 2nd spot. A driver looking for his first victory on the Hooters Cup Trail, but he is currently 2nd in the point standings. So Mario Goslin in car number 10 looking for major sponsorship on his Chevrolet Monte Carlo out of Lake Wales, Florida. In car number 10 running in 2nd, John Crow, who just picked up Jackaroo barbecue sauce on his number 38 Chevrolet Monte Carlo out of Harrisburg, North Carolina. Transplanted Californian running 3rd in the 38 car. Bobby Gill out of Dalton, Georgia, another driver looking for major sponsorship, as he's the defending champion of the Snowball Derby, I believe, down in Pensacola, Florida, or the All-American 400 that he's the
400.
defending champion of. So Bobby Gill, originally out of Sarasota, Florida, now living in Dalton, Georgia, up in the Appalachians, running in the 4th spot, and 5th will be John Blewett, one of the local drivers out of New Jersey, holding down the 5th position, John out of Howell, New Jersey. And speaking of the Appalachia Mountains, that's where we're going to be headed in 2 weeks on Friday night, August the 11th. And Mark, I am looking forward to this one because for me, I get to go home, sleep in my own bed, don't have to go on the road, as we're going to my home track, 411 Motor Speedway in Knoxville, Tennessee. And we want to say hello to all the folks at the Knoxville Hooters, and we're going to be coming to see you on Friday night, August the 11th, and on Wednesday night, August the 9th, we will be at the Knoxville Hooters for a race party night. We'll have some of the Hooters Cup drivers there. We'll have some of the race cars on display from the Formula Cup and the Late Model Series. So mark that down on your calendar on Wednesday night, August the 9th. If you are watching us from the Knoxville, Tennessee Hooters, we will be there to see you folks. Be right back right after these words. Green. So 3 laps to go, Mark Bishardi. Do you think that Dick Anderson, the veteran that he is, he's been fast on these restarts, can he do it one more time?
Well, Dick Anderson's got to be thinking, this is where I want to be. Like we talked earlier, he's a master at the restart. It's going to be interesting to see again where he restarts. So far, he's done it about 6 different places.
And on that restart, we have a lot of speedy dry up in turn number 1, as you could see the cars fishtailing through there when they went through that area of the racetrack. And Dick Anderson, he's on the gas in turn 3. Let's see if Tony Boswell gives him the green. He does. Anderson picked up the throttle earlier than I think I've seen anybody pick it up tonight.
He's done it real early, and they just skated through that turn, through all the speedy dry. And we got him coming back down into turn 3. Goslin seems to be reeling him in a little bit.
Well, Dick Anderson has got to be feathering that throttle through the speedy dry areas. They're going through now in turn number 1. You can see it trailing out behind his automobile, and he must have got those wheels spinning because Goslin has pulled right up on his back bumper. This could be a shootout to the end. The white flag is out. 1 lap to go. Dick Anderson out in front, but Mario Goslin, he wants to win it. We will see how bad he looks to the inside in turn number 2. Anderson will shut the door as they head down the back straightaway for the final time. Dick Anderson down on the inside, hugging the inside. Here comes Goslin on the outside in turn 4. They'll come down to the checkered flag, and Anderson will hang on for the win with Mario Goslin in second. John Crow will finish third. Fourth goes to Bobby Gill, and in fifth it'll be John Blewett in the 82 car. Boy, did Anderson have his hands full with the youngster from Lake Wales, Mario Goslin, on those last 3 laps, Mark Bishardi.
Well, it seemed like he was getting a little loose up here in the styrofoam or whatever it was up in turn 1 and 2, and Goslin was getting through it pretty easy. But Goslin made it interesting there at the end, and so did John Crow, because John Crow was giving Goslin all he could handle if he'd have slipped up coming off turn 4. But Goslin had to do something, and he chose the outside. May have not been the right move, but he at least tried to make a move. So give him credit for that move.
Well, I think that he knew that Anderson was not even going to give him an inch on the inside on that last lap. So I think you're right. The outside was about the only thing he had left to try. But I think we're going to see Mario Goslin in the winner's circle before this thing's all over. And who knows, it may come in 2 weeks on Friday night, August the 11th, when we go to the beautiful 411 Motor Speedway at the foot of the Great Smoky Mountains in Knoxville, Tennessee for a 100-lap Hooters Cup event. Dick Anderson, for the second straight race, brings the Mopar Performance Dodge Avenger into the winner's circle. Mark Bishardi, he's on a roll, and when you get Dick Anderson on a roll, it's like a big snowball.
Right, and Dickie races for a living, and this is what he does. He goes out and wins races. He's got over 800 feature wins in the books, but Mario Goslin, you got to give him a good call on this. He's probably tired of following Dick Anderson around a racetrack because he came in second to him last week. But what a great race for Mario Goslin and the rookie John Crow.
And as you were saying earlier, Mario Goslin running second to Dick Anderson. He may not enjoy that, but one thing about it, you said it earlier, he is learning a lot.
That's where you learn. You learn racing with the masters. Whether you race in front of them or behind them, you learn something both ways, and Mario Goslin has to be learning a lot because Dickie Anderson can teach you a whole bunch in just a matter of a few laps.
And Dick Anderson out of the car, waving to the crowd. Dick Anderson out of Wildwood, Florida, climbing out of that Mopar Performance Dodge Avenger, and I know that he's got to be tickled to death, and I see Fred Pump standing by down in the winner's circle, so we will wait to see if he is ready to go with Dick Anderson. As we also have in the picture, you see him behind Dick Anderson, Frankie Grill, who is a very noted car builder from Birmingham, Alabama, and that's one of the ingredients that has been helping Dick Anderson.
Right, and Dickie's getting a lot of help from Frankie Grill. He's getting a lot of help from Chrysler and Mopar. They want to have a car that people can see on TV, and Dickie Anderson's giving them that car to see on TV.
And now let's go down to Fred.